Hi, my name's Rachel Andrews. Welcome to Everyday Athlete. On this week's video, we're gonna make a Zoe friendly breakfast. And I thought I'd give a little bit of an update of how I'm getting on with the Zoe personalised nutrition. You might have seen a few shorts and a video I made a couple of months ago. Well, now I've had a bit of a chance to really get involved and kind of understand the system. I thought it'd be a good time to give you an update. First off though, got to pick a few blackberries. Ooh, the sloes are out. It's going to be a good year for fruit, I think, this year. So Zoe puts a lot of store in getting fresh fruit and veg and making sure that the fruit and veg are as close to their original state as possible, so as least processed as possible. So I thought going for a little blackberry pick for my breakfast would be absolutely on top of that. And we'll have a little look later to see what the score is for blackberries, but I'm pretty sure it's quite high. Oh, maybe a bit much. Well, they're looking quite thick as pancakes, but let's hope they taste as good as they smell. So while that's cooking, I best get on and tell you a little bit about the Zoe project then. So you'll have seen in previous videos that I did some tests where they did a poo test to check my gut microbiome. They did a finger prick blood test to check how quickly I can process blood sugar, and then also, what's the other one? Ah yes, I wore a sensor on my arm to test how I'm dealing with blood sugars. The finger prick test was to do with how you process blood fats. So after a little while, and much quicker than I'd expected, I got a notification in my emails that my results were in, and it was fascinating. So I'll talk it through and then I will show you the screen. But the most interesting thing is that actually my internals seem to be okay. So that's kind of good news, but also I must admit I was a little bit disappointed I didn't have something really big to work on. So let's go through the scores. When to flip. and how to flip, that's the question. Move everything out the way that could get damaged or caught in the crossfire. Not too bad a flip. Much better. I've got to apologise about the sizzling of my absolutely delicious smelling breakfast, but I'll keep an eye on it. So to those results. I'm going to show you my screen, but I doubt you'll see it, so I will insert something over this. But in grand terms, what it said was, and these are scores out of 100, I've got 72 for blood sugar control, 59 for blood fat control, 79 for my microbiome score, and my diet assessment was 60. So let's dig into these and see what that actually means. So I'm clicking on the blood sugar one, and then there's some information about how to understand the blood sugar and look at my results. The score is bad, poor, good or excellent, and my blood sugar control is good. So it means I'm less prone to large blood sugar spikes, which might be followed by dips, and it's because my body's able to handle the blood sugar well after I eat certain carb-rich foods. But it's important to also keep an eye on it. It then goes on to show a little bit more information about it, and then the factors which affect it. So the factors that are outside of my control, the big one for me and for anybody would be genetics, and then we've got sex at birth, ethnicity and age. Nothing we can do about those. Factors that you might have some control over though, BMI. Okay, so when I started this back in April, I had a BMI of 33.9. So it's saying that I could have even better control if I sort my BMI out. Hopefully, along the way, this will help. Let's take a little look at blood fat control then. So again, it's scoring from bad through to excellent, and mine rates as good at 59. And it's just saying that I'm able to process large rises in blood fat after eating fat-rich foods. And it says I'm able to clear the blood from the fats from a bloodstream more efficiently. Again, it gives you some information about making sense of that, so have a little read through there. And again, the same factors which I can't control, which are all about genetics, sex at birth, ethnicity and age. And then the things that I can control, once again, BMI. It's all pointing in the same direction, isn't it? One of my reasons for taking part in Zoe was to just improve my overall health, but the biggest one was to deal with fatigue. And I was hoping for some other improvements along the way, maybe some weight loss, maybe some fat loss, maybe improving my BMI. And it looks like this is all pointing towards an improvement on BMI would have a big difference. Hold on a second, just got to check the pancakes. I'll flip them over. They are smelling delicious. But before I get too engrossed in my breakfast, let's crack on. So microbiome score is the next one, and that is what Zoe is all about. Everything that I've seen advertising wise and the Zoe Science and Nutrition podcast, it's talking about the variety of good bugs that you have in your gut, and the more of those and the less of the bad ones you have, the better you're going to feel and the better your overall health will be. So my microbiome score out of 100 is 79. Pretty pleased with that. I do try to eat a variety of fruit and veg and things, but this has focused my mind to try and get those 30 different ones in a week. So let's click into that. It's talking about whether they're looking at the ratio of your good versus bad bacteria, and in the email that I received, it must have been about 50 pages long, and it detailed down each of the each of the bugs that I got inside of me and how that compared to the general population. It was really fascinating. But I do like that it's on the app. It's quite a lot simpler and a lot easier to get involved with. So 79 out of 100 on here, scores excellent on that range of bad through to excellent. So chuffed with that, but I'm still wondering if I retest whether I can get it higher. So the factors that I can control are where I live, which is semi-urban, the fact that I'm a pet owner, the people that I interact with, and my BMI. The biggest one in all of that, the biggest controlling factor is where I live. That's pretty interesting, isn't it? And things that are inside of my control that I can do something about is diet quality is good, but it's not excellent. My sleep was already good, and I don't smoke. And the areas for improvement were stress levels and activity levels. So that's interesting, isn't it? And as I've worked through the Zoe program, it's talked about how to tackle stress and the kind of things that we can do to improve little bits more of activity. So it's really been helpful. So going back to the 4 things it's shown me, the diet assessment, it's telling me is good. And when I kind of scroll through it, it's telling me that if I now look back into the app, I will see that everything that I'd logged has now been scored, so I can see how it's been going over the last over the 2 weeks before I got 2 or 3 weeks before I got my results. I can see how what I'd been eating has been affecting me, and so that then will help me to identify things that I can swap with the help of the Zoe app for things that score higher for me. So now I've got a whole ton of things in the app, and it gives me a score for every kind of food you can think of, whether that be a combination of items in a shop bought item, or whether that's an individual ingredient. And on the individual ingredients, there are, if you kind of further down the page, it gives you things that you could, how you can incorporate them. So if it's something you don't usually eat or haven't eaten, then the thing I've been finding interesting is that at the bottom there's a recipe on how to use it. So I've really been having a bit of fun playing around. I mean, this is one of the things I wouldn't normally have for breakfast. Turns out it's pretty good for me. And I can, so this breakfast, when I've finally constructed it, scores a 66, I think, for me, which is pretty good. But if I eat some 30 grams of nuts with it or before it, it's going to boost it up past 70, which is really interesting. Zoe is all about adding and not taking away, and it's about enjoying the food. So talking of which, I think it's a good time for me to flip these over and see if we're nearly there. I mean, no one wants raw pancakes, do they? Do you want to watch me have another go at flipping them? Oh no! I think I'm probably going to have to admit that the first one in there is a little bit of a car crash, but the second one looked quite healthy, didn't it? So the info on the gut microbiome one is really interesting. It goes through and it will just look back over the last couple of weeks of breakfast and things, and it shows me which ones were particularly good, and it scored them all out. And then also did the similar thing for lunches and dinners, so I can start to see where my scores are going much lower and start to make a change with that. Then it comes up with the foods that are recommended for me, and also areas that I can improve. I guess I could have known this one, because areas to improve: boiled sweets. I do have a sweet tooth though, it's difficult. Raisins, meh, could take or leave them, so that's fine. Iced cupcakes, I think that just means any old cakes. And biscuits. So basically, processed food which doesn't look anything like it previously did, I need to cut down on those, and that's something I've been working on over the last couple of months. And I must say, I am feeling absolutely fantastic for having changed my diet in line with the Zoe recommendations. I'm going to touch wood. I mean, this isn't made of wood, but I think I've kicked long COVID, or it's kicked long COVID for me. I don't have the fatigue anymore. I'm feeling sparkly clean on the inside, which is kind of a weird feeling, but I don't know if you've ever had a really indulgent weekend. Maybe you've gone to a party, had a few drinks, maybe then eaten some junk the next day. We all know that crisps and McDonald's solve that, or do they? But we know that we're kind of craving that, but then afterwards you just think, oh, I just need some vegetables, I just need something simple and nice for my gut. Well, having had something that's simple and nice for my gut for the last couple of months, I'm on top of the world. So it really is working for me, and I'm so pleased to be saying that, because I think the investment was absolutely worthwhile for me. If you're interested, drop some comments down below, and I'll put in a few more videos to do with the sorts of things I've been eating, and the kind of nuggets of information that I've taken away, which have been brilliant. I think it's time to serve this. Let's have a little look. Ta-da! So I've got I've piled both pancakes on top of each other, and then I've put Greek yogurt mixed with a teaspoon of my sister's jam, which was rhubarb and ginger, and then I've topped it with the blackberries. Now let's give this a go. Oh my word. Look at this, what a combination. That might be my best breakfast ever. And that is big talk. But it's delicious. I've got to stop talking and get eating. Well, I hope you enjoyed breakfast as much as I did. It was delicious. What I'll do is drop the recipe for that little beauty into the description below, so if you fancy giving it a go, you can too. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a like and drop me a comment about anything you like, whether it's related to this video or not. Let me know also what you'd like to see in the future. I hope to make the videos a little bit more frequently going forwards, but I have got quite an injured back, so I'm not really doing anything too active at the moment, but I'm here and I would love to interact with you. So I will see you next time. Bye.